The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's looking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no voice, no guys. Me, really, Villain Terrell from Jr. here at your service. The chat's going. It is the Nightcast, Night Pod going on. Currently watching. I think Georgia was. No, Georgia's still doing their best to just give Ole Miss the game. But that's clearly a face mask. Jesus Christ. Oh, crazy game. But, however, I had a good day. My bets on this day actually have already cashed. Let's go ahead and play this. A very, very tough break for some that got 231.5 on that 76ers and Mavericks game. But shout out to the Mavericks for just doing enough, and shout out to VJ Edgecombe for hitting a very big three to cash 230.5. Very good win there. And then the Miami Heat as a dog are inevitable. I mean, it's a story as good as the tale of the test of time. You take the Heat as a dog, you fade them as a favorite. They go play number one Detroit Pistons, and after a Jalen Duren injury, Pistons go down. Heat get the dub, plus 170 in the bank. Lonte, we're back. I feel like I just saw you. We're sitting here, and we've got a Friday. I'm sorry, a Friday slate. Here to break down. We got the nerd Lonte Smith. Lonte, what's going on?
Yeah, man, doing good. It's going all right so far. I mean, just pretty good reads. I thought Maxey would have a big night. He did. Thought Philly would win. They did. Locke is off to a good start. I think 21 points through, a quarter and a third of another for Utah is going pretty well. So missed on the Brooklyn first quarter, but I mean, that's what you expect to do when you bet on that team. But it's all good. I think everything else is pretty spot on. So hopefully we take that momentum over to tonight.
Yeah, definitely going to carry some momentum over to the next day here. We've got a number of games going off on a Friday as the 2026 year really, really gets kicking off here. We're going to talk about it, break it down, get through all of it. But first, just got to remind you, go get access to all the free picks and podcasts over there at the network, over there, Sports Gambling Podcast Network app. All you got to do is type in SGPN in your app store, and boom, you got the app right there for free. So go lock it down. And let's talk about the slate for tomorrow. Kicking things off at 7 p.m. on the East Coast. We've got the Brooklyn Nets laying 1.5, going up against the Washington Wizards. Oh, man, I got to play it. All right, so let's see here. Brooklyn's laying 1.5, 225.5 is total. I don't have. Well, let me look this up. Let's see if I have anything this early of an injury report or anything up here to give. Anything else to give? Let's see. Yeah, we'll see if Michael Porter Jr. is going to be able to go with the illness. This is the second leg of a back-to-back. He didn't play today. Corey Kispert, Keontae George, Cam Whitmore, all out for the Washington Wizards. Mike Porter Jr. is going to be that big tag if he's going to be able to play on the second leg of a back-to-back here. But it is a toilet bowl game. And Brooklyn did get destroyed by the Houston Rockets. But it's the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets are technically a good team, Lonte. So here we go. Brooklyn laying 1.5 in D.C.
Yeah, I like Washington. I mean, they've covered 7 of the last 10. They've beaten some solid teams. I think they beat Memphis. They beat Toronto. and they're coming off a big win against Milwaukee, which I was completely wrong about. I thought they would get buried in that spot. Brooklyn off a back-to-back. Obviously, MPJ being there will be better for them. But I mean, I like the way Washington's got that blend of youth and then the elderly guys that are stepping up. I mean, obviously we saw the CJ game winner. So I think they're playing a little bit well. I like some of the core pieces that they have. They're playing hard. I think that's all you can ask for with a team like this. And in a game like this is a true coin flip. I'm gonna take the home team. I do think Washington's better. I think they should be favorites. I think it's kind of a wrong team favorite type of thing. So I'm gonna go with Washington, and like all bad games, I would go over as well. A lot of pace, a lot of threes. I think we can go over this number pretty easily.
Wow, we're starting things off on the wrong note because, I mean, I wholeheartedly disagree. I'm going against all toilet bowl principles here, but give me the Brooklyn Nets laying the 1.5 here in the toilet bowl. I think that they are clear-cut the better team. And if you're telling me that, okay, Michael Porter Jr. got the night off because of the illness and he may be able to go in this game and you get Michael Porter Jr. as well, I have no idea who is getting any stops defensively for the Washington Wizards here. I'm all over this Brooklyn Nets team. I think that this is a nice bounce back spot where, hey, okay, we went and we played a couple of good teams. We played the Rockets and, we tried our best. It didn't go that well. We played the Warriors, tried our best, didn't go that well. At the end of the day, the Warriors are still kind of the Warriors. And you've got the Houston Rockets who, although they are kind of phony, they're still one of the better teams in the West. This Wizards team sucks. This is the absolute type of game where Brooklyn does exactly what they did the month of December, which is handle the bad teams for the most part, and then, try to compete and try to go out there and go and have their best effort against the good team. So this is their weight class. They can absolutely handle this. So give me the Brooklyn Nets to get this done, laying 1.5. 227. No, I'm sorry. 225.5 is total. All right. What are you doing there?
Yeah, I'm going over. I mean, I just think pace will be there. I think both teams will struggle stopping the other. So yeah, I'm going over.
Nah, if I like Brooklyn, well, yeah, I could see that if you're on Washington. If I like Brooklyn, I like them to play a better style of defense that I just don't think the Wizards going to be able to get to. Maybe I could be tempted by a Brooklyn Nets team total over. Second leg of a back-to-back, just got embarrassed. Kind of got embarrassed 2 games in a row, honestly. I think I could see Brooklyn trying to have some type of get-up spot, but for a full game total, give me the under. I don't think Washington's going to be able to score here. Maybe a Washington team total under. All right. Let's see here. Let's get to the next game on the docket. San Antonio Spurs on the road going to play the Indiana Pacers. Spurs are laying 5.5. 236.5 is the total on this one. All right. Let's see what I can tell you. Whoa. Nothing wants to work when you need it to. All right, still in the 7 p.m. window here. Injury report, San Antonio Spurs. No Wemby. Doesn't look like he's going to go in this one. Dan Vassell is out as well. And then you got a questionable tag on TJ McConnell. Still no Obi Toppin or Isaiah Jackson. I see why it's 5.5, but I just don't think, I personally don't think that's enough. I think that this Spurs team, even without Wemby, the Pacers have no idea what they're doing at this point. They keep going and trying to figure it out, and they're kind of playing some games close. And so maybe this is like randomly, another 2-3 point loss for the Pacers. But I think they kind of gave it all that they had to give in that Orlando game, keeping that game close. You kind of played a little tight with the Rockets on the road. I think their luck is running out, and this Spurs team can go out there, play some serious defense, something that the Indiana Pacers are going to struggle to do. I think they still have scorers in the guard position that are still going to be able to get downhill, get to the basket with Fox and Castle, where they'll be fine without Vassell and without Wemby. 5.5, give me the Spurs, get it done on the road, still figure it out. What are you doing here?
Yeah, this is a disgusting game for me. But I think the Spurs. I think I kind of agree with you. I think the Spurs may be a little bit too short here. Pacers have been feisty, and I mean that's what good coaches do. I mean Carlisle is one of the elite coaches, and regardless of who's on the team, I think he pretty much he pretty much like dignifies like what a team is, because they play the same way. Their style is like conducive to all players, so it's not really a drop off. Obviously, Tyrese means a ton, but they still play the same way. They just don't have as much talent around without Tyrese being able to uplift those guys. So yeah, it would be Spurs or nothing. I mean, it's not like they're not used to playing without Wemby. They've done this for most of the year. You know what I mean? So I think they'll be fine. It's just are feisty at home. Though. The 10-8 ATS at home, most of the times they're between this 5.5, 7.5 point dog mark. So I will say that, but it would be Spurs or nothing for me. I'll probably be staying away from this game.
Yeah, I understand. And although I did pick the Pacers against Orlando, I think this is now the spot where it's ran out. I think the Spurs go on the road, get a very, very solid road win here. I'm with you. Total sitting here at 236.5. It's dropping and falling. Probably, I would think if I'm on San Antonio, there's an expectation that San Antonio just kind of blanks Indiana here, and they're not able to really get any footing offensively. I think they're still a very, very solid defensive group. Shout out to Miss Johnson and all of them and coaching this group up and keeping them, honestly, in the upward trajectory that they were going. So, yeah, I like the under here. Give me under 236.5. I'm actually, that seems like a lot. It does.
I don't really got a good feel, to be honest. Maybe over, maybe Spurs team total over. If anything, I think they'll be able to score. I mean, the Spurs have shown the ability to score on OKC's defense, so I don't think they're going to see anything here with the Pacers, especially in transition. If they can get out run in transition, some spot up threes, the Pacers do give up a lot of threes, so I can see the Spurs having kind of an avalanche type of game and then limiting the Pacers, and you still get under. But I would go with Spurs team total over before betting a full game over or under.
All right. Let's see. Next up, Atlanta. On the road, going to play the New York Knicks. Oh, I'm actually going to be around a Hawks fan during this game. I might have to make sure I put this game on the big screen. This should be fun. Knicks are laying 7.5 here. 245.5 is the total. Injury report, and let's see what we got. I mean, you should really just kind of start your handicap with the Atlanta Hawks with this. What's Trae Young's status? Is he playing? Is he not playing? He is questionable for the game, so we'll see if he's able to go. Josh Hart's still out with the ankle injury. Mitchell Robinson is questionable, and then Landry Shamet is still out. I'm going to say this. I would not be surprised if Trae Young did not play in this game, and the Hawks just found another way to make this a nice, closely contested game, very similar to the first one, where the Knicks are laying these points. They go. Hawks just kind of hang around, make things close. Jalen Brunson kind of has to get into his bag and save the Knicks. I would not be surprised if something like that happened again here. I understand the Knicks are good at home. There is an opportunity for them to pull away. But if Trae steps foot on the court with intent to play in Madison Square Garden, with how his season is going right now, I'm telling you, Knicks by 1,000,000. They're gonna abuse him the entire game, and the fans are gonna let him have it. I was just listening to Rich Paul talk, Lonte, and he was talking about like a lot of the NBA is mental. Oh, dude, there's no way. Like Trae does not feel like Ice Trae right now. That confidence that he thought he had in that first round series, that is long gone. Oh, dude. I mean, so it's a clear cut. I actually do think the Hawks will find themselves in the game if Trae Young is not playing. I like what the team looks like without it, and Jalen Johnson just kind of puts them on his Superman cape on and puts them on his back, and he's a really great player. And Cat really, really annoys me. So I would be on Atlanta plus this amount of points if Trae was not playing. But, if Trae plays, Knicks by double digits easily. Lonte, what do you like here?
Yeah, I like the Knicks regardless of whether he plays or not. I think they might beat them by like 15, 20 anyway. I think it's a bad matchup for the Hawks. The Knicks have multiple defenders to throw at Jalen. Nikhil will be kind of neutralized as well because he'll have to use a lot of his energy on the defensive end. And I just think that they'll be able to score whenever they want to. The Hawks defense, with and without Trae Young, obviously is a different case, but they still don't match up well with what the Knicks want to do. Knicks going to space you out a little bit more, even with Josh Hart off the floor. It might take away from some of the things they want to do defensively, but it adds another score. I mean, Tyler Kolik's been playing really well. He's been shooting the ball really well. When him and Brunson are in a game, a little liability defensively, but offense looks a lot smoother because they're able to get Brunson off the ball a little bit more and have him, be the focal point of the offense off the ball rather than dribbling for 20 seconds. So, I mean, we know that the Knicks' home splits and road splits are drastic. They pulverize teams at home. I don't think this is any different here. I mean, I think 6.5 is short. I would probably make it around 8. So I love the Knicks in the spot.
I think one thing to consider is I'm interested to see what the Hawks are able to do on the glass in this game. Mitchell Robinson's probably going to play. So that at least that much is good. But again, I do not trust Cat on the glass anymore at this point. He's just never in proper position. And so that's very unfortunate. Also, with no Josh Hart playing in the game, that could be. I see the angle. And ultimately, it comes down to Trae Young. Because if Trae Young plays, this team is just horrible. Like, god-awful. All right. What we got up here next? Oh, 245.5 is the total. It's really, really high, but I understand it with the way the Knicks have been playing defense and the Hawks haven't figured out anything good defensively at all. Yeah, it's probably over nothing for me.
Yeah, same. I'll definitely be taking the Knicks team total over. First half and full game. Knicks are really good first half to their team total over, especially against teams like the Hawks who don't have a ton of defense. The rim protection is there, but they play a lot of drop coverage, so Jalen should be able to feast in the mid-range. Pick and pop threes with him and Cat on the pick and roll, that should be there as well with that drop coverage. So I will look at the Knicks. You know what? The Knicks first half team total that might be one of considerations for one of my locks. I think it's a really good bid, actually.
All right. Let's see here. Before we get to the next game of the slate, gotta remind everybody about Caution. Make sure you go check them out. Real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. You can trade NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, all that, even more over there at Caution. Make sure you lock in. Hey, they got a whole bunch of different markets and politics, entertainment, even the weather. You can do all of that. So, hey, new Caution customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That is Caution, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Let's see. We got Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 5,000 times your entry. All you got to do is pick higher or lower your favorite player's fantasy stats, except Carl Anthony Towns. So make sure you go over there, check it out. Hey, new customers can go play $5 and get $75 in bonus funds when you use that promo code NBA SGPN. So all you got to do, go over there, underdogfantasy.com, use that promo code NBA SGPN. Denver on the road, going to play the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs are laying 13.5 to 36.5 is the total. The injury report, and it's a doozy because this is pretty breaking news. I mean, it's really, really big news considering, what was the other big news that this team had earlier this week, but very much still worthy of a drop. Yeah, so Jonas Valanciunas, the backup big for the Denver Nuggets that, they signed in offseason, and he said he wanted to go play overseas, but Denver was making him out of the contract. He was coming back, and then he said, oh, yeah, no, I'm committed to playing with this group and trying to win a championship. And kind of walked back all the statements that were said or not said or possibly said in the media. Well, guess what? That Jonas Valanciunas that people are looking to bet while Jokic is out, he's out for 4 weeks with a calf injury, at least. Oh, they can't catch a break. They can't catch a break. 13.5 with Jamal Murray against the Cleveland Cavaliers here. Lonte, what are you doing?
Yeah, I like the Nuggets, man. I'm not betting Cleveland. I don't care that they've covered, 2 in a row? they got to still just prove it to me consistently, especially a number like this. I don't care who's out for Denver. I mean, Cleveland's they've shown the propensity to play down to the level of competition. I'm not letting a few games here and there kind of dictate what the season-long metrics are telling you. They're still one of the worst ATS teams in the NBA, still one of the worst ATS teams at home, a place where they typically play well. And Denver's, I mean, they're still going to fight regardless. And I think this is a decent matchup for them. I mean, the bigs, is Jared Allen in? Him and Mobley are in?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think they'll go really small. I mean, obviously they don't have a choice, but they'll go really small, space those guys out, try to run a little bit more, and force the Cavaliers to play a track meet type of game, which is something that they can do. But I mean, they haven't been hitting threes, which is the cause of why their record is what it is and why they've been struggling, along with the lineup continuity. But I mean, I think the number is just too big, to be quite honest with you. So I like the Nuggets in this spot.
Oh, Lonte, I don't know about that one, man. What are you doing about the rim protection on the inside here? I mean, yeah, you may space them out, and we are kind of just begging on this group to have this unreal shooting day, and I mean they can. Cleveland really hasn't been the best guarding the 3-point percentage, especially during that very, very ugly, disgusting spell that they were kind of going through. But you have to literally be perfect in this game. Like, you have to be perfect in this game to even come close. Not even to get a win, but you got to be perfect to even come close. Because Donovan Mitchell is still playing at a high level. Mobley, Allen. I think this is Cleveland trying to continue to build some momentum that they have been building over the past couple of games. I will give them that. It was a very good win against the Spurs and the Suns. I think this is the game Cleveland runs somebody off the building. I'm sorry. I'm laying the chalk, man. Give me Cleveland laying 13.5. It's too many injuries. Too many injuries on the Denver side of ball, and not enough time for them to have the continuity to figure out how they're even going to play these rotations at this point. So I'm on the opposite side. I will take Cleveland laying 13.5. Very, very chalk play there, but I'm going to just go ahead and start my complete Denver fade now, for sure. By the way, the Kings are up 2 points on the Boston Celtics, who are laying 10 points tonight. In the third quarter, 84-82. 2 minutes to go in the third. Just wanted to throw that out there. Nobody else cares. I'm the only one that cares. All right. Charlotte. Dog, I feel like Charlotte and Milwaukee have played each other 10 times this season already. Okay, this is the fourth meeting, so I'm not tripping. Like, it has been an abnormal amount of times that they played. This is the fourth meeting that they play. Okay, so I'm like, I feel like they played 10 times. Like, how many times I'm going to talk about Charlotte and Milwaukee playing a game? Charlotte Hornets are on the road, going to play the Milwaukee Bucks. Hornets are catching 5.5 on the road here. 233.5 is total. Let's see if I can get an injury report. And we have here for the Charlotte Hornets, it looks like, why is everything moving so slow? There we go. All right. So for the Charlotte Hornets, we have, that's Saturday against the Bulls. Wow, Hornets are on the first leg of a back-to-back. Nice. Interesting information there. Kalkbrenner's still out, of course. Plumlee's still out, of course. You've got Diabite. He's on the questionable with the wrist injury. You got Bridges. We'll see if he'll go with the ankle injury. And then Taurean Prince is out for the Milwaukee Bucks. We knew that. Okay, so we like I said, we've seen this 4 times already. I feel like we've talked about this once a week for the past 4 weeks about Charlotte and Milwaukee playing a game here. But Charlotte did just lose by 10. to the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they were laying, what was it, 3.5 when we talked about that game earlier this week? I think it might have closed, it might have opened 2.5 and then got up to 3.5 or something like that. But Milwaukee was able to figure it out. Charlotte hung around, but Milwaukee was able to close things out here. Now Milwaukee's back at home. They're laying 5.5 this time around. I mean, yeah, I guess this is just more of Giannis trying, especially the fact of how they lost that Wizards game. You have the opportunity to just beat up on another bad Charlotte team again and try to gain some forward momentum. But it's just really, really hard to trust Milwaukee in like any given situation. I think at this point, it's just, do I like Milwaukee to win? Maybe. Okay, then I'm just going to take Giannis. Like I kind of don't want any more equity in the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought this would be a perfect spot for the Bucks, but I can't do it. I mean, Charlotte's been feisty early on, so maybe if you want to look first half, like first quarter, first half for Charlotte, and then Bucks full game, I think that might be something. Or come back with the Bucks in the second half. I think that might be something that's worthwhile. But like the Hornets just can't close. I don't know what it is, but they play extremely hard. That's one thing that they can't take that away from them. They just don't really execute when it's time to execute down the stretch. And the Bucks are just non-trustworthy. I mean, we saw it against the Wizards. That was a good spot for them in a little bit of a quote-unquote revenge spot, and they just couldn't get it done. I guess one of the worst teams in the NBA. So, I mean, you see the number here, 5.5 is. I think that's telling you to take Charlotte, but I can't do it. It'll be Bucks and nothing for me.
I guess give me Milwaukee again. The Kalkbrenner and missing Kalkbrenner and missing Plumlee and just any form of rim protection, rebounding, any type of big presence at all is still going to be very, very hard to overcome. It's rinse and repeat. Giannis has a good game. Bobby Portis probably has another 20 piece, something like that he gave him that first time around. But yeah, moving on. Can't believe we had to talk about that game again. 233.5 is total over. When nothing else there, Lonte. We can move on. Now, we have talked about this. I feel like we talked about this game recently. The New Orleans Pelicans are at home, welcoming the Portland Trail Blazers. Blazers are laying 1.5 on the road here, 240. So what does Scott do that never happens? Because it only happens when it's us.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It never happens when I'm with Scott. So what does Scott do that doesn't happen? Does he delete it after?
Maybe so.
Maybe. No, but I don't feel like he does that. I feel like it's always there. So like, I don't know. It happens a lot. Throwing off my feng shui, man. Blazers laying 1.5, 243.5 is total. Let's see here. Let's see what the Blazers got going on. So, it's like I want to be back out on the Pelicans. And I want to say, I'm kind of over this team. They kind of catch me in a bad spot. Thought it was a good angle against the Bulls, but then it was a very good angle against the Knicks. Like, they have these moments where I'm like, oh, man, Pelicans kind of want you to break through, but then they don't. And I guess that just proves, oh, yeah, this is a bad team, and I can't get too excited about the Pelicans because they're a bad team and they're going to lose games. But, man, they might just be a really fun dog that I just find myself taking at times. And ultimately, with Portland, still not all the way committed to the team there. I think that just the number of sheer injuries on the Portland side of the ball kind of stunts whatever growth that I think they would have had this season. I think they'd probably actually be a pretty decent team if they had Drew Holiday. We don't even know what they would even look like with Scoot Henderson on the court. But I think Splitter's just kind of figuring it out, and they're just kind of moving along. But this New Orleans team, man, when they really sit there at home, they can score. Like, they can put points up at home and really just go out against some of the best teams and randomly have a night where they can score. So After the embarrassing loss on the Bull against the Bulls on the road, I'm taking New Orleans back here at home to just go out there and put up a high points total. I like their team total over in the game against Portland here, and I think New Orleans is going to go ahead and get the win. So I'll take them plus 1.5. Lonte, what do you like here?
Yeah, I would probably be with the home dog as well. I mean, the Pelicans are they're one of those teams like New Orleans who plays extremely hard. I can't trust them against any of the elite teams, but against Portland, who's been struggling a little bit, I think they match up pretty well with them back at home. I thought they should. I mean, that was a poor showing against the Bulls without two of their best players. And I think
Yeah, man, like they're not going to do that a whole bunch of different times.
yeah, so I'm in agreement there. I'm going to take the home dog here with the Pelicans, and I like the over as well. I think both teams will, especially the Pelicans. I mean, they want to get up the pace up and down and just kind of shoot some threes. So I like the Pelicans as well.
Yeah, man. Over. This could be one. I mean, this 243.5. I understand where you're trying to set it at. I don't think you're high enough here. I'm not committed to the Portland Trailblazers defensively here, especially when the New Orleans Pelicans just kind of figure out and turn it on. And I think this could be a game where they actually just turn it on. So I like the over. I think if you like it one way or another, if you're a Portland person, if you're a New Orleans person, your team total is good either side. So if you don't want to trust the other team total over is good for both teams as well. I like points here to be scored. I think this is going to be the highest scoring game of the night by the time it's all said and done. Lonte, any thoughts on the total?
Yeah, over. I completely agree with you. I mean, we're looking at both these teams to get to 120. I think the Pelicans, with the way they play defense, the Trailblazers aren't an explosive offense, but just the lack of defense that the Pelicans play, especially when they have Queen on the floor, they kind of expose him in that pick and roll. So I think the Trailblazers will be efficient in their scoring. So I think they'll be able to score. So I like the over as well.
All right. Oh man, I mean, of course, Denny Avia is going to have a game, but I think Klingon's going to have a little bit of a game here. I think this is a nice little matchup here going up against Sir Derek Queen to try go out here have a really good effort. He's had a couple of 18-point games in past few games too. So yeah, I like Donovan Klingon to have a really solid game here. Just throwing that out there. All right. And what do we have next? Before we get to actually the rest of the slate, I've got to talk to you about Novig. Make sure you go check them out. Sports prediction market. You can go and know that you are going to get the best prices in the market in Novig. Hey, a lot of minus 110 that you're getting at some of these traditional sports books. You go check out Novig, and that could be like minus 101, minus 102, even money, like anything like that. You can find reduced juice on a lot of the bets that you like over there at Novig. So, hey, go download the app, get $50 when you spend $5. Use our promo code SGPN. Get on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. They've been killing it in NFL, college basketball, NBA all season. You can go over there and build your own models with the sliders. Play around with the sliders if you like offense, defense, fouls, tempo, whatever it may be, or use Rhythm's models. You don't have to go into the depth of all of it. Just use the models Rhythm already gives you, and that already have proven they make a profit. Hey, head over there. Promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app and get 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. Orlando on the road, going to play those aforementioned Chicago Bulls. Orlando's laying 4.5. 235 is total. All right, well, I guess we have to trust Orlando. This is now, Lonte, we are officially in the game after the game territory. They had the game where they get up, get a win. You don't have Kobe White. You don't have freaking Josh Giddey. And you did it. It's the game after the game. But now you got to play Orlando. And I get Orlando has a lot of pieces that we're like, oh, we're really not feeling it. Orlando. But at the end of the day, Paolo Banchero is going to go out there and have a game. They are working Jalen Suggs in and out lineup and getting him ramped up, back going. I I just have a hard time to believe that we're going to see the long-term success here from the Chicago Bulls. And I'm telling you, the crescendo going down, all the way down, like it's probably going to look like one of the worst teams in the league over the next couple of weeks as we really look at what life is going to be for the Chicago Bulls without their 2-star players. So with that being said, I'm on the Magic laying 4.5 here pretty easily, considering locked territory here, especially with the way that they won that game against the Pelicans. So, Lonte, what do you like?
Yeah, I like the Magic as well. I think their defense will be on full display without two of the primary ball handlers for the Bulls. The Magic defense has kind of regressed a little bit this year, and I think that has a lot to do with Suggs being out of the lineup. Also, Franz as well, who's he's a decent defender, but he allows some versatility to where Suggs doesn't have to guard those bigger guys. So I really like that matchup for them, and it's a little bit of a revenge spot. They lost last month as a 9.5-point home favorite. So I think they'll be looking for a little bit of get back here. They didn't play well in that game against Indiana. I don't think they'll come in looking to overlook the Bulls. I think it's kind of a big win for Orlando, especially with their defensive capabilities getting back to what they really do, and that's turning defense to offense which is something they should be able to do against the Bulls who don't have a ton of ball handlers. So I like the Magic as well.
235 is total. Oh, dude. I mean, this is also very much lock capability here. One, I already have a hard time trusting the Magic to score the basketball on any given night, honestly. But two, you're telling me this Bulls team, after putting up 134 on New Orleans, has expectations going into the next game of putting up anything on the points total against this Orlando Magic team that feels like that they're trying to lock back in defensively? Oh, no. Under 235. Not Magic. Bulls team total under feels like a great play as well. Completely out on the Chicago Bulls right now. Lonte?
Yeah, if you're gonna believe in kind of the thoughts that we have, which is the Orlando Magic defense is gonna come to play, I think you got to go with the under. If you like the Bulls, you probably want to go with the over, thinking that they control the pace and the shots are falling, and they don't, they handle the pressure of the Magic's defense pretty well. So I like under. I think the Bulls team total under is a great look by you. So I'll be on that as well.
All right. Phoenix. Well, this should be quick because, we were really – Sacramento's literally playing right now. And what's the updated score for anybody that is listening that is not live if they want to know we are at 102-96, 7 minutes and 5 seconds left in the fourth for the Celtics and the Kings right now. Kings are catching 11.5 on the road in Phoenix tomorrow night. 228.5 is the total. How many times have we seen Phoenix laying this big of a number? I feel like it cannot have been much. Because it feels like they were a dog a lot this season. When's the last? How many times? Yeah, only once this season we've seen them lay a number of 10 plus points or more, and they're actually 1-0. So, not bad. Interesting. Everybody knows my pessimism of the Kings, and I just don't think this Kings team is any good. And it doesn't look – they're out there and they're competing and they're being competitive against Boston right now, and it's not – they're covering the spread going into here in the fourth quarter. So, what is that, a 6-point game? Very competitive. I told you they had a lead, and it ended up tying 88-88 in the third quarter. So, yeah, give me the Suns to just go ahead, figure it out, put something back together. They're still playing very good ball. They've been very good ATS. And the one time that they expected the Suns to do this damage, they did. So I'm going to go back to it only because I just don't have as much information on the Kings right now. And I'm perfectly fine fading the Kings. Give me the Suns laying a big number.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Suns first quarter, first half. I don't really know. It's on the small sample size, obviously, but I don't know if they're just a team I want to lay 11.5 with, even against the Kings. The Kings are feisty. Like I said, I like their young core, man. I like Maxime Reynaud. I like Nick Clifford. I don't like the pieces that are around them outside of DeRozan. Those guys, I mean, they're playing tough for him. I can't bet on them, but I do like some of the younger guys that are on that team. They just don't have any idea. I don't know what their identity is, and that's kind of one of the biggest things that I want in a team. If you're going to bet them, like I need to know, like, hey, they're going to do blank for sure. I can't point to anything the Kings do well, like anything. So that's keeping me off of betting them. But I also don't trust the Suns to lay this big of a number. But I do trust them early on to kind of get it done. You got the Kings coming in on a back-to-back. Granted, this game that the Kings are playing is competitive again. And like you said, they were leading for a couple of minutes before they allowed Boston to get back in it. So low energy to start. Suns take advantage. So let's go first quarter, first half with the Suns.
All right. Moving on. OKC on the road, going to play in Golden State. OKC's laying 8.5. 228.5 is total. This is definitely going to require an update to the injury report. And let's see what OKC has going into Golden State here, where Golden State has been very, very good this season. If I can get anything to load right for me today, thank you very much. All right, here we go. So we got Jay Will still out. Isaiah Hartenstein is out with the calf injury. And then you've got Trace Jackson Davis on the injury report, D'Anthony Melton on the injury report, Al Horford on the injury report, Draymond Green is getting a rest day, and Steph is on the injury report. I mean, how much stock am I putting into Golden State beating? I mean, Orlando actually started playing better after that Golden State loss. Then they beat Dallas. They lost to Toronto. And then you beat the Nets and you beat the Hornets. And you didn't cover against the Hornets, by the way. I mean, I just don't know. I don't really have that much stock in Golden State. I think that this is Golden State getting respect for being at home, one. The fact that their name is Golden State, two. But you still have Chet in the game. So at the end of the day, I think Chet is still going to have a very, very good matchup here. I think that they don't have enough options, or they're not consistent or even disciplined enough as a team to be able to cover everything OKC can send you for the duration of an entire game. And so I think this could get very, very ugly for them. Honestly do. I really do. OKC was in the same spot laying 11.5 earlier this season. I don't understand what happened in this time that would make this now 8.5. Besides OKC losing to, the Spurs a handful of time. Yeah, I'm laying 8.5 with OKC here. I'm actually kind of shocked this is this low, and I'm just not as big on the Warriors, and the Steph Masterclass game is just not going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, when you play the Thunder, you're already like behind the 8 ball. But number one, you got to have multiple ball handlers. Number two, you got to have multiple guys who can defend multiple ball handlers. The Warriors are not that team that has either. They're stiff, Jimmy's fine, but it's not the playoffs, so I don't really put a ton of stock into what he does in the regular season. Obviously, I think J-Dub will match up with him pretty fine and kind of negate what he does, so they'll pretty much balance each other out. Shai's going to be Shai. And then if you look around, they don't have any other defenders that to be able to stop what OKC, is going to do. So I think the Thunder are going to blow them out. I think the Thunder by like 15 plus. I would bet that as well. I don't think the Warriors are in a good spot. I mean, they're okay at home, but it's OKC. It's just a team that I can't bet against them unless I know for sure that it's a team that has multiple ball handlers, guys who can score and initiate offense, and you're not solely dependent upon one primary ball handler. Kind of like the Knicks, kind of like what Golden State does. They don't have a ton of ball handlers. Like the Spurs have the perfect recipe because they have multiple guys who can initiate offense, which is why they give them trouble. So they don't have. That's the recipe I'm looking for when I'm trying to fade the Thunder, and I'm not trying to fade them often. So I'm taking an 8.5, 9.5, whatever it is. I'll lay it with the Thunder.
All right. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty chalky. I don't think it's enough for the Jocelyn drop. I'm not going to. Nah. No, I'm not going to do it. But, like, I don't know. I'm confused on why it's only 8.5. I don't know. I don't think Golden State's playing good ball. They're clearly not playing teams that should be their tier of competition. So, yeah, I think we're getting a gift here. Wow. Might have to end up betting that. Okay. Last game up, 10:30 p.m. on the East Coast, by the way. You're watching this one in the club. Memphis on the road, going to play the Los Angeles Lakers. Grizzlies are catching 4.5 in Los Angeles. 238 is the total. I'm sorry, 238.5 is the total. And then let's see here. Grizzlies, Lakers, injury report. And we have for the Memphis Grizzlies, it looks like, thank you, Vince William Jr. out. Yeah. Brandon Clark, Conchar, yeah, we knew. Jalen Wells, questionable. KCP, questionable. He could be coming back. Vanderbilt's questionable. No Gabe Vincent. No Austin Reeves. No Rui Hachimura. So now, I mean, basically the question here is this a game where Luka could just kind of put his cape on and get the Lakers a win?
Yep, it is. I mean, this is similar to what the Thunder checklist is. Are you young? Are you athletic? Do you have good wings? If you can check all three of those boxes against the Lakers, you're probably going to beat them. That's what they struggle against. They're old. They're slow. They don't play defense. Memphis doesn't have that. They don't have any type of dynamic. Cedric Coward is a good wing. I mean, he's not an explosive athlete. He is explosive. He's just not the type of wing that'll give them trouble. You know what I mean? So they just don't have it on the wing. And I think this is a perfect game for the Lakers to kind of exercise some demons. They're 3-7 ATS the last 10, struggling. You got JJ calling out the team. So yeah, I think this is a good get right spot. 4.5 is a little bit too short. So I'm going to lay it with the Lakers.
Yeah, I agree. And it's really a lot less of that and just more of, I just trust Luka at this point. There's a level of, I think I've decided the level of competition in the league that the Lakers can definitively go out there and have a very solid game against as long as Luka is playing well. Now, when you throw Reeves into the mix, you throw Rui into the mix, and Rui actually, remembers how to play basketball, they can sometimes punch above their weight class. But right now, this Lakers team, as presently constructed, has no shot to punch above their weight class at all whatsoever. However, you give them somebody that's below them on the totem pole, they'll more than likely handle the business there. So with that being said, I'm with you. Lakers, lay a 4.5. They get it done. I think it's a big Luka game. I would just go ahead and just load up on whatever Luka, king of the court, all that type of stuff, PRA. I just think Luka just goes out there and has a pretty solid day. Maybe even random triple double day for Luka. 238.5 is total. Lakers home over.
Yeah, I like under. I mean, slow pace. I think Lakers can slow the game down, half court. Yeah, I don't see Memphis having a ton of success here, unless they're just making a ton of threes. Which, again, the Lakers. They can be okay at the rim. They can't stay in front of anybody. So, but who's going to take advantage of that? I don't see anybody taking advantage of that. So I'm gonna go under slow pace. I think Lakers control the game.
Lonte, I think you're completely wrong about that, man. At the end of the day, this Memphis team, they have somehow put themselves in a fake rivalry with the Lakers. I don't think you
can. They lost 4 in a row. I think not cover 4 in a row too. It's just a good matchup for the Lakers.
I am all over Lakers home overs. 12-2 on the season. We're not fading that. All right. That's it. Lock, dog, underdog. Lonte, what are you doing for your lock?
Yeah, so for the lock, I'm gonna go ahead and just lock up the Lakers minus the 4.5. We just talked about it. I think it's a good matchup for them.
It's a pretty good lock.
I wanted to lock up the Knicks, but it's moving too fast, so I'm gonna just stay away from that. And then for the dog, let's go with. Damn, I don't really like a ton of dogs, to be honest. Damn, I don't really like a ton of dogs. Just give me. Damn, I can't even do that. That's only even. Give me Denver. Give me Denver first half. Money line. That is. Damn it! They don't even have it listed yet, so I can't. It's gonna be a dog though. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna be a dog. So let's take. I don't have a price on it yet. They haven't posted it. That's the only thing I could remotely like.
Okay. For me, lock. How do we want to do this? Last time I did lock up against, but I was also taking Orlando that game, and that was just a horrible. I shouldn't have never took Orlando there. I have faded Golden State at home before as a lock. It didn't go well for me, but I'm pretty sure this is a good spot to fade Golden State at home. Yeah, man, I just think that this is a horrible matchup. OKC is way too much better than them, and this line is really short. Lock OKC laying 8.5. Now, for what was dangerously close to being my lock, but I will parlay it together to make my dog in a nice little same game parlay. Give me Orlando minus 4.5 and the under 235.5. That's going to be plus 246. I have no faith in the Chicago Bulls at all whatsoever right now. And ultimately, Orlando scares me enough offensively that I'm sure that they'll be able to contribute to this under getting home, in addition to whatever they do to the Chicago Bulls defensively, because who do the Chicago Bulls are going to lean on for the scoring again in this game? Yeah. So lock, OKC minus 8.5, dog, parlay, Orlando Magic laying 4.5, and the under 235.5. All right, underdog. What are we doing, Lonte?
I think you already got one. That's Luka's PRA. I love that as with you, so we can add that in there.
Okay. As far as tonight's underdog entry, Derek White doesn't look like he's going to aid us here. We'll see. I mean, he spammed out those two, but like when he started the game 0 for 4 from 3, I was just like, yeah, this is not going to be one of those days. I doubt it in the next 2 minutes. So, all right, Luka, where are you at? Yeah, I don't think they got anything for Luka here today. Golly, 51.5, and it's still probably not high enough. All right.
I like Paolo PRA as well. I mean, 29, 10, and 4 last game against Indy. He had triple-double, 23, 15, and 10 against Toronto. Like, he's been playing well over the past few games on the road trip. It's the third game on the road trip. He should be locked in, ready to go. He's had a day off to get ready. Against that Bulls defense, no front line help. Vucevic at the trying to defend.
Wait, so did you say PRA?
Yeah.
Okay. Higher 38.5. And then let's close things out with Bobby Portis, higher 13.5 points, because there's no quality big or any type of rim protection to stop him against Charlotte at all. And so let's just have him run back what he did. He doesn't even have to get all 20 points. We only need 14. So, and Giannis is still on a minutes restriction. So Bobby Portis higher 13.5 points. Paolo Banchero higher 38.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And Luka Doncic higher 51.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Add that in underdog, shake it up. You're going to get a 6.18x payout. $100 gets you $618 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. All right. What's up? what's going on? Anything else here on you got, Lonte?
I got nothing, bro. Got nothing. Have a good weekend, everybody. And I won't see you guys Monday, but you will.
All right. And at XX Lonte XX on X, make sure you go give him a follow. I'm at really real __. Make sure you give me a follow. What else? At HGPN NBA over there on X. You also got us youtube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast if you're listening on podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you go give us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. Apple, Spotify, doesn't matter. And with that, that is it. Nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just gonna end it like this. We are out of here.